Yeah, we can start with the dower for this week. We only have one active snapshot for this week, so let me just post that link here in a second. Thank you, Choina. So this is the snapshot vote SIG prop to modify the ETH sell ladder. Currently, we're sitting at a 1.9 million in favor of this. That's 51.8% of the vote, with 1.8 million not in favor, 48.2% of the vote. It's falling short of quorum. Obviously, it's only at 52.1%. This could be because of fragmented Ghost liquidity right now. Some people still, I still have most of my Ghost on Polygon. I should have moved it already, but we might need to resubmit this. This one does have until the 30th, so you still have 5 days to vote, friend. So if you have any whale friends who haven't placed a vote, maybe ping them and see if we can get this across the line. This would be to modify our current ladder into a more conservative ladder that would sell off some, under different metrics that are outlined in this snapshot. So that's the only active snapshot that we have for this week. We did have some active discussions. Currently for this week, we had the Aavegotchi DAO and DAO box discussion. Is anyone from DAO box here to speak, or do we have an update beyond just what Alex posted?
I don't think that Alex is here, but I did take a look at their proposal, and I also got last week or 2 weeks ago, I think I requested info from Ape Law about their uh, proposal because Ditchy wouldn't give me their contact, so I just reached out, and their proposal is not a replacement for the DAO directors. It's strictly advisory only. There's nothing about them becoming a nominee director for the foundation. So I mean, I'm not going to follow up further with him because I think he probably made it clear that we needed that, but that was not part of the proposal. So currently, the only proposals we have are for actually filling the director's position is from DAObox.
Okay, that makes sense. Yes, because we were supposed to get 3
Yeah,
potential
he
candidates for
gave
legal counsel. So this is kind of different, which is fine because DAObox is a solution. But I think we're
yeah.
going to have to reapproach, because that's what Ape Law would fit into, right? To be our legal counsel potentially.
Yeah, I mean the issue that the DAO Foundation right now is the biggest issue is that you and Chonya have both resigned as directors, and so from the Cayman Islands perspective, the moment we update that, it's kind of and we want to update it as quickly as we can, just so everything is official. But they're going to look at the foundation and say, oh, we don't have any directors. We need to. They're going to want to take action on that, and no one really knows what will happen with how their courts will take that, but it's safe to say, I mean, we don't want to put the foundation in a situation where it's like going to the Grand Cayman court for arbitration and stuff like that. So I think unless we kind of have 2 options. One is to just go with DAObox and have them become the nominee director for their stated offer, and the other option would be to hold another election for new directors. Or I mean, it could be the same prop, but I think previously the elections don't require the core prop. I think it has been kind of standard, kind of precedent. There's no core prop component, so that could be quicker. We might need a full sig prop core prop to elect to accept the offer from DAObox.
Yeah, that makes sense. So we'd be
But
looking at like roughly a 2-month process, or like a month and a half.
I mean, it could be much quicker than that. But yeah, quorum is tough to say what quorum will be. Can we actually meet quorum with the available ghost on base right now? I think it's possible, but hard to say. But yeah, I guess if people don't want to do the DAO box option, then I mean, we really need to just see, are there people that want to throw their hat in the ring to become new DAO directors or director, maybe not directors, just really only need one. Two is, I think on the foundation side, really only one director is required.
Yeah, like China is saying,
There's
if
another
there
option.
are other monkeys with ledgers, multi-sig signers who want to step up and do
You
it.
can step up, but I think we still need, reading the articles of our foundation, the sitting directors, even if they haven't resigned, cannot elect a new director. It needs to come from the council, which is the token holders.
Yeah, that's good. That's good to know. I figured when we were advised to appoint an interim director that probably ran, contrary to what we were actually supposed to do.
Yeah. Last year's direct election did have both a sig prop and a corp. Okay. Previous elections, sometimes we do have a sig prop and a corp prop, sometimes we don't. So yeah. I think if it's done quickly, it could be within 3 weeks to 1 month to get everything complete. But yeah, I guess the biggest question is just, do community members, like, do we just want to outsource this to DAObox, keep it with professionals, not have to worry about this as much? Or, I mean, the budget is, they've given us a budget of, I think, 7,500 USD a month. So not cheap, but also not exorbitant. And they are not legal counsel. They're just the nominee directors. They also, I mean, they do DAO advisory, but it's not legal counsel.
Yeah, because if they step into the role, then what I envision here, I guess, is the process would be, whoever this new director is once voted in, if it's them, that makes perfect sense. Then we can task them with find us the legal counsel. Because right now we paid out a bounty and we did get an incomplete bounty. Like, people saying that it was complete. We only got 2 options and one of them doesn't make any sense. So this isn't.
And he also wouldn't even give me the contact for them. So
yeah. So I don't want to issue another bounty for this, but I don't want to take on the role myself, obviously, because I am still, even though I've resigned, I'm still a director, right? Like, we can't, like, on paper, we need to wait until we have a replacement to go to the Cayman Islands, because we're at statutory risk if we exist without these 2. So it's kind of like I'm stuck regardless.
Yeah, we can't. I mean, and Tim from Matusha is, like, very aware, wants to do it, but he's also like, it's kind of a very big unknown. What could happen if on paper both directors are removed? It might trigger something, and Cayman, they might start, Grand Cayman Court might start coming after us with questions.
Yeah. So at this point, does it make
sense?
That's
actually like a worse position for resigning directors. I think it's a kind of unnecessary drama for them.
Yeah. With, I guess, legal counsel, does it make sense to wait until we have a new director, or to, like, as DAO members, just because there are, like, prominent DAO related legal, like, I've seen Musashi mention Lex DAO, I think it was. There's some legal DAOs that maybe we can just, as individual members of the DAO, reach out to and see what, if they can advise us, or like what pricing would be, to maybe have a couple people come and have 3 full options. Right now it seems like we have 1. We just need 2 others, and I don't think it would be that hard to source. I just don't want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, we have the proposal from Ape Law. I mean, the foundation's already set up and it has a constitution, and maybe it's not the ideal constitution, but I think the proper way would be to get the foundation sorted first. Let the resigning directors resign, come in with new directors whether it's DAO box or community members, and then go about on the next quest of actually getting legal counsel. Otherwise, legal counsel is going to come in. They're going to have a whole spiel. They're going to, they're going to come in. Or you guys need to redo the whole foundation, the whole constitution, because it's in their interest to do that, because they get more retainer when that happens. And then on paper, we still can't like resign the directors because the foundation won't have directors. So I think proper order of operations would be to sort out the directors first and then do legal counsel. I mean, we could do them at the same time as well, but I wouldn't want to, as a DAO member, I don't, speaking as a DAO member, I don't think it's the right order to try and get legal counsel first and then let them advise on sorting out the foundation.
Yeah, just reading what Florent's saying. I agree. I guess like what VR Dev is saying makes the most sense. So why not have a thread for people to throw their hat into the ring and set up a new election with those as well as DAO box on the ballot?
Yeah,
I think that makes perfect sense. How would we, for that kind of role, like, because DAO box has a budget, right? Like they're going to charge us. Are these people like, I guess a nominee, especially someone outside of the DAO, say, would they have to present like a plan similar to DAO box? Because what we're getting with DAO box is actually a lot, and it does, they're professionals. So like we can have community members raise their hand and say, hey, I can fill this role, but do we need them to qualify themselves? The way that DAO box is,
You're getting at like what is the proper compensation for a community member?
Well, no, let's say a presentation of skill set, because a community member could say, I'll do this for free, and that's fine. But what if they're not qualified versus what DAO box is actually offering?
Yeah, there's no like really qualifications. I mean, DAO box is giving us a proposal, and here's what they plan and would like to help with. Doesn't mean that we have to go with that plan. And that, I mean, we could continue, sort out this director's issue, and then immediately go after legal counsel to like maybe do foundation V2. That might not have the same person that's currently a director, it might be completely different.
Yeah, me personally, I would love to see just a vote straight up for DAO box, and because
that's what I was thinking. If you like doing DAO box and mixing the two seems, I don't know. I guess I'm not sure as a community member you'd know like how to compare, and also just for compensation, what would that like? How would that work? I guess would it be on a individual basis, saying, okay, I'll do it for here's my rate that I'll do it for, or free? Yeah, that's what I'm saying, VR Dev. So it could be, I'll do it and I want this much compensation, and that's basically the qualifications.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of like the complexity of a vote, like if that matters. I guess it doesn't, like, because this is important and people should be reading the entire context to understand what they're voting for. I think that's fine. So yeah, I think next steps for this would be to open a thread, and if how long should this window be open for people to nominate themselves before like going to a SIG prop?
Yeah, we can't take too long. I mean, this is already way overdue, so a week sounds pretty good.
Okay, yeah. What happens in the unusual rare occasion that no one steps up and it's just DAO box? Do we just bring DAO box to a vote?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, yeah.
VR Dev, do you want to lead the thread creation? I'm happy to do it either. I think we need to give people a little bit of context for what the situation is, and then let them put their hat in.
We can also clip this and then drop a video in there so that people can watch this 10 minutes of conversation that we kind of lay out all the issues.
Sounds good.
Oh, my Stimmy in the Gotchiverse.
Okay, maybe you do it first, VRDev, and then I'll chime in with any additional context I think is needed. Cool. All right, let's get this moving.
Yeah, thank you. I would greatly appreciate that. So that covers our main discussion about DAObox. I feel much better about that, honestly. VRDev, you are here. I don't know who. I think it might have been Phantasma that started the conversation about the DAO treasury distribution. I've tried keeping up with it. I understand that it's ideating and there's no real, there hasn't been a prop, I think, dropped. I don't know if anyone wants to chime in on that. I don't really have an opinion on it. For context, we're basically discussing how to distribute. If we were to distribute the ETH or Ghost in our treasury, how would that occur if some people want to unwind of the DAO or various different options? Okay, can present something next week. Okay, that works too. All right, yeah, I'll drop the link to the thread, and you guys just make sure. I keep dropping the wrong link, so I gotta make sure I don't drop the wrong ones.
My basic opinion on this, I don't want to give anything too long-winded, is that I think it's too early to do any sort of distribution right now. And if people, I've seen people worried like, oh, is Pixelcraft going to do another funding proposal for more ETH or anything? The answer is no, we're not going to. I already stated that publicly in various places. So like, don't worry about that. If that's what people like worried, like they're trying to get this thing passed before we do another funding proposal, like it's not going to happen. We're not doing another funding proposal to cover our operations. So like, don't feel like you're in a rush if that is the motivation to get this thing passed, because it's I don't think Gotchi Battler is doing another funding proposal anytime soon, if ever. I think he wanted to make that his last as well. We're not planning to do another funding proposal. So those are the two main expenses of the DAO. And maybe DAObox, could be a potential expense, but it's kind of a needed one. Other than that, like, it's nothing. I mean, the DAO's not really spending that much on, I think, Gotchi Greeters is a very, very, very small percentage of the DAO treasury.
And we're not
so
even.
I just think it's too early to. There's no like gun to our head that says we got to split this DAO treasury right now. I don't see what the point of the timing of doing it right now would be, except just to front run any sort of other funding proposals. That's what I've read from the various back and forth, is that people are worried that people are going to try to get more funding from the DAO. And so instead of that, let's just split the DAO. But I strongly believe in this project still. And I'm going to keep building on Aavegotchi, like I said in my post, like for the foreseeable future. So I want this project to succeed. And I think if we take the full treasury and just distribute it, one of our biggest advantages as a project, if you look at like base ecosystem or pretty much any other gaming ecosystem, there's very few other projects that actually have like a large treasury. And I feel like we're just kind of kneecapping ourselves if we distribute the treasury right now at a point where the kind of morale and sentiment is at its bottom. So that's all I'm going to say on it for now. Happy to have a debate on it next week or whenever any of the people actually pushing the proposal they want to show up.
Yeah. We'll see what happens next week. I definitely will wait and see for that. This is actually a great transition to the next topic, which is a counter idea to the treasury distribution. This one's coming from Alt Bay, and it's the suggesting that the DAO uses part of its treasury to acquire struggling game studios, integrate their titles with Aavegotchi, and build NFT interoperable games under one ecosystem. So, you know, obviously as a DAO, we have limited manpower, so we have to figure out logistics of this. I don't know if Alt Bay is here today. I'm trying to scan the audience if they'd like to jump up and speak, but this discussion is ongoing. So if you want to jump in there and kind of talk about, what your ideas are, if the DAO was to look to start expanding and, maybe acquiring gaming studios. I don't know the logistics of that. That probably would require a change to the foundation of some sort, or I don't know if the DAO can buy entities, but I don't see why we couldn't if we structured correctly.
Yeah, I haven't responded to that one, but my current thought on that is let's get one game working like well first before we start buying up other like less successful or failed studios. Might be, I mean, we can maybe get them at like a super bargain price, but I don't know if that's a winning strategy yet to do that.
Yeah, we're basically becoming
we wouldn't like have the bandwidth to, at least at Pixelcraft. Maybe someone else from the DAO could spin up an entity to do that, but we wouldn't like have the bandwidth to promote more games unless we adapted strategies to a different type of strategy.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but friends, if you want
I haven't put a proposal out or anything, but one idea I was just floating was if we do end up having a yearly, like annual recurring funding that we have to pay, like a DAO box, or even various expenses that the DAO wants to cover, like IRL budgets or other like small operating costs. Just saying that the current value of the treasury is like 5 mil in ETH, and if that were converted to something like an ESCO or like a yield generating stable coin, I'm primarily talking about ESCO because it's kind of the lowest risk one. Supreme Pablo, hell yeah, man. Then why I think there's a path towards taking at least a portion, possibly a large portion of the ETH, and whenever we do sell it, I think that it should be staked into something like an ESCO, which gives 8% APY on USD, and then just chill, like just use that $380,000 every year for the DAO's expenses. It covers legal, it covers any kind of IRL budgets, maybe some small funding budgets of things, and just like let that value sit there, and maybe it's used for player rewards, various things, and like that could be pretty sustainable rather than splitting the whole treasury and just like letting everyone walk away.
Yeah. Also, VR Dev highlighting there's a snapshot ongoing to change the sell ladder if you wish to do that. So definitely go vote. That is near a little under 50%, if I'm not mistaken, quorum. So, or a little over rather 50%. So we have 5 days. We can get it across the finish line. We just need to rally the troops. Currently, it's split 50-50. So it seems like those voting are it's undecided at this point. I don't think it's going to pass unless we get a significant surge in voting. But this is why we should highlight it, and you should go check that out. Definitely. Also, all these ongoing rewards are giving me FOMO. I'm trying to check on the leaderboard, but my name's not there. So I think it's because I used Aavegotchi with no name. I'm gonna have to figure out what its ID number is. But yeah, we have one other subject that came up. I don't know if FIFO is here, but basically the new DApp features. He dropped an update. I'm just gonna drop this in here. Give me 1 second. There we go. Yeah, new features and updates. Basically, FIFO was apologizing for the delays. Shared that the BRS optimizer and Gotchi batch lending features are nearly complete. Code has been merged to the beta stage branch with release planned for the next PC DApp update. The final task, which is wearable batch lending, should be finished within 2 to 3 weeks, possibly using part of his contingency budget. But the project remains on track to be finished by November. So if you want, you can go and check out that forum post. You can see the updates. He's dropped, plenty of updates as we've gone along in these meetings over the last few months. So that's amazing. We're about to be finished wearable batch lending. So when you want to, I guess, rent out your wearables or lend them to yourself for various reasons, you can do that. I know that we have Snacks in the audience. I saw that he messaged me, but I haven't been able to read it because I've been jumping around. Snacks, are you looking to speak with the DAO? Because I saw, yeah, there you go. There you go. GM, man.
GM, how y'all doing?
Doing well.
Hey.
You know what? I'm going to switch devices.
Give them a second there, friends. Snacks, are you back?
I can hear him.
Oh, I can't hear him.
Oh. Yeah, I can host near future. I can hear him fine.
Yeah, he's not on stage anymore, so I don't know what was happening.
Yeah, I think he's rejoining or something.
Okay. Third time's a charm.
Okay, it seemed like a bunch of people weren't hearing me. Is it working now?
Yes.
Hey, all right. I switched devices and Discord probably did some weirdness. So we made a game. We've made a bunch of games because vibe coding is amazing. And you're our game friend, so I'm here to show the game that we think is kind of fun and also ask how we want to put all our friends in the game as power-ups. So I was thinking about like what a gotchi power-up would do. It'll be like a gotchi emoji that comes down the lane in this game. Like we'll make an emoji kind of image of a gotchi. We can pick which one. And then when it hits if the chef catches it, then it will do something. Maybe all the customers become ghosts and fly away. Like, I don't know. That might be funny, but open to ideas. And maybe it gives you some sort of bonus. I don't know. And also wondering if we could put it on the arcade maybe in the future. Might be fun because I know we have the arcade. We put the arcade at our events together a lot. We did that in Denver and we've done it other places. And and I wanted to ask about Gotchi making some sort of pizza themed game or like adding pizza for a limited time to a game around the Global Pizza Party 2026, which is May 22nd.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, I mean,
go ahead. Sorry.
Probably something we could. Vibe coding is pretty damn quick right now. So I think we could maybe have a pizza theme level in the Gotchi verse or one of the other games. Could be pretty cool. There's ways to incorporate a big pizza.
Because we're going to have an arcade for Pizza Day this year, and it'll have a bunch of games in it.
Nice.
So we've already made a few. We'll pick our favorites, and then if we have any friends who want games in it, like we want to put them in too. Especially, you know, we want to incorporate pizza in the game somehow. We also have been talking about making like a pizza accessory for gotchis. I think I don't really know how that process happens or if that's a thing that could happen, but that would be really fun if we can.
Yeah. Yeah, we got some time to think on that. I mean, you said it's in May. It's in like May, right?
It's May 22nd. Oh, you know what? And if anyone gets above on this leaderboard, I'm going to give a prize. If anyone from here gets on the leaderboard, I'll give you a Pizza DAO NFT.
Ooh. Now, I'm playing it right now, and I died within like 20 seconds. What am I doing? I'm making like a pizza for the drooling guys?
Yeah, so you have to make the best experience right now, and I apologize to the mobile users, is desktop. And the best way to play
desktop.
is
Yeah,
to go up and down with the arrow keys and pretty much spam space to heat pizza up in the oven and then take it out of the oven.
I'm actually playing it on stream now a little bit, and I'm getting the mechanics because you have to turn the oven on, get the pizza out of the oven, and then start hitting them with it.
Yeah, and if the pizza burns, then you lose a star because the customers don't want to smell smoke.
Yeah, I'm getting the hang of it. I like this. With this game, I think putting this on the arcade machine would be very simple.
Highest score, by the way. Sorry, highest score by the end of the call gets the NFT, obviously. Go ahead and futuristic.
Yeah, putting this on the arcade machine should be easy because we can open a browser-based game and play it. It's just a matter of having internet in the venue. Can this game be played offline?
I mean, probably. It could be by the time we need it to be. I assume. Right now, it's using it definitely could.
Yeah, because I like the idea of at a Pizza DAO party because we do them so often. We're probably going to be there in Miami. We're currently planning out stuff with Bad and Profits right now for to sponsor the big event that they're throwing.
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, so me and Mr. Seb still have to kind of finalize things. We're working through that, but we're probably not going to have the arcade machine in Miami though, because it's a nightmare to move around through that traffic, and I don't drive, and I don't think Mr. Seb is going to be able to come. So it's logistically we're not going to be able to.
What about doing a scaled down arcade where you just get a pad and set it up with a nice monitor or something?
I believe the greeters, because I handle the media, so I'm not the best person to answer these questions, but I believe the greeters have a couple gaming laptops and there's a gaming computer. So we could just put up signage and have people stand at maybe a standing desk of some sort so that they can come and play the game. But stepping up to an arcade machine, like a Pizza DAO arcade machine Aavegotchi game machine with the Pizza DAO game on it, everybody at the party would come over and play it. And I just think that would be crazy. It's just the logistics of moving it would be nuts. I could try to put you in contact. I think you are in contact with Mr. Seb. We could try to figure out logistics to have because the issue here is I believe the arcade is still in Colorado. So we can have it shipped, but like I said, I don't drive, so I can't actually do anything with it. If it comes to my house, it's kind of stuck here because my girlfriend doesn't have a big enough car to move it. So I would need somebody to rent a truck and then do all this extra stuff. No.
I mean, I love the arcade machine. It's amazing. I'm also just suggesting for Gotchi potentially, how there are sometimes those little joystick pads, right? That it's not nearly as cool as a whole arcade, right? But
yeah, like a Namco kind of thing.
Pad.
Yeah,
and oversized you can hook it up to a screen.
Yeah, I mean that's because then it's all about how you dress it up, right? Like it could be a computer with a big monitor and that kind of Joy-Con setup, and you have good signage, and that's just as good as stepping up to a arcade machine. Do you guys plan on making this?
It might be way easier to move around.
Yeah, because then you just have to ship a computer, or you can even rent computers locally. So that run it off a laptop or something.
Somebody probably has a computer that they'll bring.
Yeah, I'm not. And my computer's for editing. I'm not doing that. But hey, we'll figure it out. I think the DAO definitely for a game like this would be very easy to do. But my question is, then why wouldn't Pizza DAO just do it? Like bring the computers and do it themselves. It makes sense if you're putting it on the arcade machine because of that vibe. Why wouldn't you guys just like kind of host the booth within the activation?
Well, arcade machine is one thing. I'm recommending that Gotchi have like a stripped down arcade machine to deploy Gotchi games. We probably would do it, but we could also put it on something that has other games as well, right? I think, yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, that makes perfect sense. Also, Jesse saying, any pizza token? I want to have a pizza party in Gotchiverse. We were just in the Gotchiverse collecting Ghost and other ERC-20. So that would be, we could throw a Gotchiverse pizza party.
Wait, what do you mean? Like, do we have a pizza token yet?
Yeah, because we were just in our Gotchi metaverse earlier in our call.
Okay, yeah, when token. Yes,
Okay,
good
yeah.
question. So maybe 2026. We're finally figuring out. Oh man, this is a good question for y'all too, actually, maybe. We're looking at issuing fixed length, fixed rate loans to pizzerias with now we're definitely figuring out how to do local collateral in like, disparate legal systems all over the world. So that's a little tricky, but we're working towards offering pizzerias loans. And we have our first pizzeria in Nairobi that we're going to just trial this with and give them 2K at like a 12% rate, I think, for 6 months. And because they want to do some updates to their shop. So as soon as we figure out like some of those things, we will be in a position where we really do want more liquidity and we want there to be a token. So soon.
Yeah, that sounds good. 2026. Write it down on your calendar, maybe. But get some pizza. Yeah. So in terms of the you
Oh,
also,
did you hear Jesse?
No, I don't hear Jesse. Oh God.
Okay, maybe no. Oh man,
I'm gonna step down and come back up. Just give me a second.
yeah, that'd be sick. Do you hear me? No future.
Yeah, I hear you. I can't hear Jesse now though. It's
Yeah,
Discord is bugging.
Discord. No, that's awesome, Jesse. I think we should definitely do that. I think we trial that. So no future. Jesse said we can airdrop tokens in world for in Gotchiverse, and we could do that as part of our event. So like if we have a bunch of partners who all have tokens, which often is the case, we could put them into the Gotchiverse, which I think would be a fun, just cross promo, all it. And yeah, pizza token, everybody. Make sure that you RSVP to the Pizza DAO events and get your NFTs and hold them. And one day we will have pizza token.
Yeah, sounds good. I'm assuming Jesse's not talking right now, right?
No, he's done.
Okay. Thank you for coming up, Snacks, and talking with us. I would say next steps, jump into the DAO forum and drop a post, and then we can continue the conversation there, get some feedback from more of the community, and then move forward.
Yeah, I'll think about what I want to. It's a bunch of different things. I'll think about how to put it together. Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Friends, unless there's any other business, I think we can wrap up today's dower. I can't hear Jesse. I don't know if he's speaking, but if you have any last comments or questions or any concerns that you want to speak about in this meeting, you can do the sign off. Okay, cool. All right, friends. Thank you so much. This has been the Aavegotchi Hangout and Dower for October 25th, 2025, or 26th if you're in Asia, I guess. We'll be back next week. Keep an eye out on the socials for all the updates concerning Gotchi Guardians. I'm thinking Greeters for some reason, Battler. Gotchi Guardians, and just other stuff coming, including some of these cool partnerships that we've seen that have been kicked around, Cat Town and whatnot. So take it easy, friends. I'm going to close this call. Have a good day.